What's up, you guys? So I'm here with a new video today, and I'm here to bring you guys what you guys have been requesting, and that is my updated True Draco deck profile for the September 2018 ban list and format. Going forward in the 200th YCS this weekend, I feel this will definitely be one of the most represented and one of the most kind of just underdog decks of this YCS. I feel a lot of people have, forgotten that True Draco is still a deck. True Draco has pretty much been a deck. Almost every format has found its way to creep into every format, every top cut, everything. And I think it's crazy that people would ignore this deck. I think that since it took very little hits on the list, I think a lot of people forget what this deck is capable of doing. And I think because of that, people are going to suffer if they do not properly prepare to play against this deck at all in Swiss or in Top Cut. This is a deck you guys highly requested next to Altergeist and my Mech Knight deck, which I'm still working on. Don't worry, once the deck has been perfected, once the ratios are there, if I play it at the 200th, you guys will definitely see it. But other than that, I know you guys wanted to see True Draco. So what I decided to do for this first build of True Draco is this is going to be the version that plays no extra deck, so that's extremely budget. Also, I tried to make it as budget as possible in a sense. There are some cards you have to play in this deck, but I actually omitted cards like Infinite Impermanence from this build. I did that not only because I feel the deck can play without it, but also because I feel like if you guys are looking for a budget rogue deck, this would be probably one of your best options, considering that you don't need an extra deck and that, this deck is just still insane. So without further ado, we're going to get into it. This is my take on it. If you guys do want to see the version with the extra deck that plays like some extra cards and stuff, just be sure to smash that like button. 50 plus likes will tell me you really enjoy it, and I'll definitely bring you guys one with an extra deck that basically plays all the cherries targets and some synchro options and XYZ options you actually can play on the deck. So yeah, anyways, on to the monsters. Start, of course, with 3 Ignis. This has become like the best Draco in the deck because of your ability to play it under Rivalry and Gozen, especially Gozen Match, because Gozen Match is so devastating against so many decks as one of the best floodgates. This card does everything. It gets your spells, and honestly, Disciples has become the best spell in the deck. You need to constantly be able to recycle your monsters, your spells, and traps, and this card helps you do all of that. Under Diagram, it's 27. It's just really, really strong, and I really like this card because this, along with itself or Maiden, can also make Volcasaurus if you're making the extra deck version, so that's kind of cool. But I feel like overall it's become the standalone, like the best Draco since Dynamite's only at 1. But yeah, so 3 of those, just 2 copies of Maiden. I feel 2 is the perfect number. This is a very standard list, by the way. Like, you're not going to find anything too flashy in this list, but 2 copies of Maiden I feel is definitely correct. I feel like Maiden is good, but it's just not as strong as Ignis or, Dynamite. I feel like Majesty Maiden is there to get your monsters, but we play other cards that can help you get to your monsters. So I feel that with the Majesty's Maiden, 2 is enough. 2 has been perfectly fine. It's gotten me the monsters I've needed. And it's also, just another level 5, so it's good. And then, of course, the 1 Dynamite, it's back at 1, thank God. This is like the best Draco, the best single Draco that we can play. If we can play multiple, it would be insane. This card's just the nuts. Being able to get your return is so important, so I don't really need to say too much. This is without a doubt probably the best Draco, and it's so strong under Diagram being 28. And then one thing I'm playing that not a lot of people are playing, and I will explain it, is I am still playing 2 copies of a Mono Awado. I go back and forth whether I want to play this or if I want to play Inspector Border. I just like the Mono more, and the reason is, and I know what you guys are thinking, a Mono has kind of fallen out of popularity. We are playing no extra decks, so we are playing Monarchs Erupt, but what I liked about a Mono Awado was that if I'm playing against, say, a U-Link board, now remember, Draco doesn't care if you get U-Linked. Like, what is a U-Link really going to do to Draco? Not really anything. However, the fact that, you need to break a board, I feel that summoning this card is kind of like when we would play against the Pendulum board. You would summon this, and it would basically just shut off the board. It would blanket shut off the board, and then you are free to make your plays as you wish. What I really like about this still is I feel that since Goki is still going to be one of the best decks, Sky Striker is going to be one of the best decks, your ability to just play around hand traps is really good. Now, granted, I know this card sucks against, like Sky Strikers when they have cards like Widow Anchor and whatnot, but honestly, I'd rather them waste it on this and not my, Dracos or whatever. If they waste it on the Dracos, I'm going to get they're going to activate, I'm going to chain, stuff like that. But right now I'm testing this card. This could change. I could possibly drop this card, and then maybe people have talked about upping the Draco count, and the only way you can up the Draco count is by playing a 3rd Maiden. There's also another card that I'll talk about right now, and it's this card. It's Metaltron. I don't know if a lot of people know about this card, but this was the quote-unquote masterpiece replacement. So you would have to tribute 3 cards to summon this, and you contribute, continuous spells and traps. So basically what it reads is unaffected by the effects of cards with the same type, monster, spell, and or trap as the original card type of the cards tributed for its tribute summon. So basically if you tribute a monster, spell, and trap, it's unaffected by everything. If this monster and its owner's control is destroyed by opponent's card by battle or card effect, you special summon one fusion synchro or XYZ monster that is earth, water, fire, or wind from the extra deck. You're able to pretty much summon something really cool for your extra deck. This is a card you guys could play, definitely, if you don't feel like playing a Mono Awato. I just wanted to present it to you guys now. It's definitely an option if you're not a fan of Mono Awato, but I mean, in testing so far, Mono's been good because people still don't respect this card, and it's insane. So, but this is also an option you guys had. I just wanted to present that to you guys. But yeah, that's it for the monsters. 8 monsters. We are playing a Card of Demise deck. You want to keep the monster count extremely low. Spell cards this is where it gets really standard, but this is like the heart and soul of the deck. 3 diagram. Card's still at 3, so we're going to play it at 3. Card's still nuts. 3 heritage and 3 disciples for our main like Draco engine. Heritage still does its thing, drawing extra cards, being able to pop back row. Disciples really shines though, same thing, being able to pop back row, extra tribute summons from both of these. What I really like about Disciples though is that it's a Daigusto Emerald. You want to be resolving this as much as possible. It just keeps you in the game, keeps you cycling, keeps you grinding, and just keeps you steps and steps ahead of your opponent. So I think these cards are just amazing. I think Disciples has really come into its own as probably the best Draco spell. I know what you guys are thinking, this card's so good because it helps you draw cards, but this card helps you recycle and stay in the game, and I really like that, especially for the grind game against decks like Sky Strikers where you really have to grind. So Disciples has definitely been probably the MVP spell card, and it's always the card I go for first with Ignis. On to the draw spells. 3 of, I don't know why this card's still at 3. 3 Card of Demise, one of my favorite cards in the game, in the deck. Yeah, I mean, draw 3, baby. Draw 3 all day. Summon a mono, oh, you got an Ash. I'm still going to draw 3 with Demise. I don't honestly know how this card is still allowed to be at 3. I just don't. But, I mean, they're going to give me 3. I'm still going to play 3. Also play 3 Pot of Duality. Before I used to play 2 copies. I really like 3, though, because I just want to draw into my Demise, to be honest. I want to draw into everything. I feel Duality is just so strong. You're never really special summoning, so Duality just does so much for you. You want to max out on, like, a lot of the draw cards. Like, we max out on the Draco cards. You want to max out on the good draw cards, which are Demise and Duality. And I know Duality isn't really, I guess, a draw card, but in a sense it is, because you're able to just see 3 cards. I really like that. I also like it when you side deck. So 3 Duality I feel a staple. And then to round out the deck, the only hit on the deck was the hit Terraforming to 2. Well, guess what? We were always only playing 2 Terraforming because multiple diagrams sucks. Like, it does. Trust me. Open a hand with Terraforming diagram, you're going to just be like, oh, I guess I can pop and search. And yeah. No, trust me. 2 Terraforming, perfect number. That's it for the spells. And then just onto my traps. So again, I decided I'm not playing Infinite Impermanence. I wanted to keep this deck as budget as possible for you guys. And even though I have some high rarity cards in here, you can definitely get them cheaper. The only card that has gone up a little bit is Card of Demise, but if you were smart and picked up your Card of Demises early on with the reprint in the Kaiba set, hopefully you did, you'll be able to play this deck on a pretty good budget. So for this traps, we're playing 3 Apocalypse. This is probably also one of the MVP cards in the deck. This does so much. Being able to half, your opponent's monsters causes so much damage during the damage step, and it's just one of the best ways to out problematic cards. So I feel this card is probably the best Draco trap in the deck. Even though Return's insane, I feel this card just is a real workhorse of the deck, being able to just accomplish so much and being able to really just gain a lot of advantage, like pretty much almost OTK your opponent because their monsters are so low. Floodgates. We're playing Draco. We're playing Floodgates. 3 Rivalry, 2 Gozen. We play them. What can I say? They're all worms, and Gozen is just insane with Ignis. I mean, this destroys Altergeist. Like, destroys Altergeist. This destroys everything in the meta. They're still playing Sky Strikers. They summon the token. You just flip this. They're out of luck. So, these Floodgates are still insane. Another thing about these Floodgates, if you play against a deck that's not really Floodgates, you can just tribute them for your Draco monsters. And I think that's where a lot of people forget. Okay, these cards may not be great against every single matchup, but they're good against, the main meta, and then you contribute them away if they get in your way. So that's pretty crazy. We're playing 2 copies of Erupt because we're not playing an extra deck. So yeah, I mean, this card's not what it used to be, but I like it still because it's another skill drain. We play skill drain, so it's like having 3 skill drains in the deck. And I think like when you flip this, your opponent just doesn't really know how to respond to it. So I think it's still just really good because your monsters are unaffected. Your opponent's whole board is basically skill drained. 2 Waterfall, one of the best cards for playing around evenly matched. You just get rid of everything, draw cards, search cards. Card's insane. I feel this is a staple in the deck now. It's like a way to play extra monsters without playing monsters. Like, you could actually cut the Amanos and you'd still be fine. And then just the power 1-ofs to round out the deck. 1 skill drain, 1 True King's Return, and I am playing the 1 Imperial Order. Again, since I'm not playing impermanents, I decided to just put another Floodgate that's almost like an auto win against Sky Striker and other decks. And again, you may think this card will hinder you, will not if you contribute it away. So very, very solid, I think, overall for 40 cards in the True Draco deck. But yeah, that's it, you guys. There's no extra deck. See this? No extra deck. Budget, baby. But yeah, that's it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. If you did, be sure to smash that like button. Let me know your thoughts. This is just the first build. Again, if you guys want to see the build with an extra deck where we play a little more fun stuff to like be able to do like niche plays with our level 5s and stuff, let me know. We also will be playing the Cherries targets. Some of the Cherries targets have changed since Buster Dragon, since ABCs got hit. Makaba has definitely become a staple because of the Invoke deck and stuff like that. So I could definitely bring that to you guys if you guys would like to see that. The main deck will actually change a little bit. It will be very similar to like the builds you've seen that play an extra deck. I just really think Draco is just a really solid call this format. I think not enough people respect, and I think because of that, the deck's going to have a very, very good performance this upcoming YCS and format. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like the deck? Do you not like the deck? How would you change the deck? And how powerful do you think Draco will be this upcoming format? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.